Hey everybody, it's Shaman Sister Sin, and you're listening to yet another episode of the Meditations and More podcast. That's me, the Little Shaman. Today I want to talk to you about something that people come to me with pretty often, actually, and that is how to deal with the guilt over the relationship you are having with a pathological narcissist. Like I said, this is something I hear all the time. Lots of people struggle with guilt because of the things that they have said or done, like in retaliation or return to the narcissist. Many people have been pushed to the point of nasty behavior and even violence as a result of the nonstop abuse that colors relationships with narcissists. And I'm not going to beat around the bush this time. The way to get over that guilt is to forgive yourself. You are a person dealing with something so horrible that even many trained medical professionals flat out refuse to deal with it. Almost anybody will break under that pressure eventually, and even occasionally if it goes on long enough. What you've done is not okay, but it's okay to be human. We are always so much more understanding of others than we are of ourselves. So ask yourself this question. If you read a story about a girl who had been locked in a dungeon, being tortured and abused for years and years and years, and she escaped by killing her abuser, would you judge her? Would you say that she was bad and shouldn't have done that? Should she now go to jail? Of course not. So give yourself a break. Maybe you didn't handle everything perfectly, but who does? You're allowed to make mistakes as long as you own them. You're allowed to have bad days. You're allowed to be human. Now, it's important to remember that the guilt you feel is partially because you're a normal person who feels bad about their negative behavior, but it's also from the narcissist constantly telling you that you're evil, that you're bad, that you're an abuser, or telling you that you're stupid and you're crazy. Part of that guilt is from the narcissist demanding absolute perfection from you and from the narcissist not allowing you to be human. It's okay to let go of that. It's not reality. That is a twisted, manipulative lie from a miserable, disordered person who wants you to be miserable too. So don't let the narcissist take up space in your head anymore. It's not needed. Or maybe your guilt is from leaving. Maybe you're torn about whether you should leave or about how you've reacted to the abuse since this person has a disorder. It's important to remember here that in the end, it just doesn't really matter whether it's the narcissist's fault or not. It doesn't matter. Whether it is or is not something the narcissist can control, this does not somehow excuse what they're doing or make it not wrong. If a mean dog got that way from being abused, you would recognize that that's a very sad situation, but you wouldn't just let the dog bite you. You would not just lay there letting him attack you because he can't help it. You would stay away from that dog. It's the same with people. It may truly be that the narcissist can't help it, but it doesn't really matter either way because it's still wrong. It's hurting you and it's not okay. Now, the most important thing here is to recognize that your own behavior was not okay. In the same way that we don't excuse the narcissist's behavior, we don't excuse our own either. Just because the narcissist is horrible, abusive, and cruel does not give us the right to also behave that way. It's understandable, but being understandable and being okay are two different things. This is what differentiates us from the narcissist. They cannot understand and will absolutely never truly accept that their behavior was wrong. Yes, they apologize, and yes, they seem to feel remorse, but don't confuse remorse with shame. They're not the same. Shame is what the narcissist feels when he is called out on his behavior or forced to face consequences. That is not the same as remorse. They will continue to insist that the victim deserved it and caused it. A lot of times their apologies are things like, "I'm sorry you reacted that way," or "I'm sorry you took it that way." That is not remorse. It's not. This is what is truly different. We, unlike the narcissist, are able to accept responsibility for our behavior, which means we can learn from it and we can grow. We do not have to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. This is a privilege that they will likely never enjoy. Having a conscience is a privilege because it means that you can become a better person. So take advantage of that and do so. Own what you've done and learn from it, then forgive yourself and move on. It's time to heal. Narcissists are the way they are precisely because they cannot do that. They cannot accept things, they cannot forgive themselves or anybody else, they cannot move on, and they cannot heal. You do not need to carry that baggage around anymore. It's not helping you. If anything, it's hurting you and it's preventing you from being whole. Part of healing is not just forgiving the narcissist, it's forgiving yourself too. Hope this clears a few things up for you. As always, I look forward to your comments, questions, and suggestions, so please keep those coming. I take appointments online and over the phone Monday through Friday. So if you're interested in speaking with me, you can visit littleshaman.org and click the Book an Appointment tab to go ahead and do that. You've been listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by littleshaman.org. That's me, Little Shaman. May the Great Spirit bless you and have a wonderful day.